Fuck. Hi! Welcome to another Dark Mushroom Media cast. We haven't done a cast like this in a while, so we're just gonna kind of jump right into it. Palmer, one thing from what the fuck, E3, Jesus Christ. One thing from E3 we missed was the Red Orchestra, the next installment in the Red Orchestra series, which is being set in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Finally out of World War II.
Yeah. It's interesting because Tripwire hasn't taken the Red Orchestra series that far. They've been stuck in World War II, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because they've been awesome fucking games.
Yeah, they've been very good.
But with the Rising Storm, they kind of introduced the whole jungle warfare, using the terrain to your advantage type of gameplay. And then with Vietnam, obviously, that's just going to fucking increase exponentially. And with helicopters, so... I just noticed Corbin's shirt or sweater.
We've been in the call for like 25 minutes, and I was
doing stuff. I haven't
Are you
looked at
doing
Skype.
it? Are you doing it to support the Sir Action Slacks Pug Courier? Is that why you're wearing that?
No, I'm wearing it because it's a fucking beautiful sweatshirt,
Because
and I love it.
I want that fucking Pug Courier. So
I also think that it is quite cute.
have you seen it? Sorry, this is totally derailing
That's
everything.
not lore, man.
We're already back on track.
Did you guys see the video
That's
for it?
A+ timing, Palmer. That was not even a minute in. Failed completely. Well played, sir.
Did you guys see the video for that thing? Like, I want that fucking courier so goddamn badly, dude.
Yeah.
I have seen it's on the Reddits.
I just love that, like, when it dies, it falls on its face. It's
like
they
did a pug kind of pug, like undead.
The like.
Fuck, I can't remember what it's called.
Pudge dog.
Yeah, Pudge dog.
Dog Pudge.
So it's basically that, but a lot cleaner and less rotty.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tripwire. Red Orc. New stuff. Very cool. No idea of a release date or anything, but given Tripwire's record, I would speculate sometime next year, maybe next fall. And while we're on Tripwire, Killing Floor got an update. It added the Firebug class, I think. It was Firebug or Demolitions. Added a new map, new class. Both. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was both. But yeah, this is the first update they've done that wasn't just a new map, so this is a pretty substantial update. And I haven't actually touched Killing Floor 2 in a while. I need to go back and play that a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it out either yet.
I think we're both just waiting to see how they're going to handle the perk reset, because I don't think either of us wants to get up to like level Jillian class and then lose it all.
I'm not really so concerned about that as much as I'm just like, all right, I get this way about early access games. Like, I play it and I'm so into it and I'm like, all right, this is great. But at some point, like, I'm just like, all right, I'm done playing the demo. Let me just wait until the full things come out. And I'm kind of like at that point here, and like I don't think I'm gonna really like. I do want to get out and check out the new classes and just like kind of get a feel for them. But fucking, I don't think I'll be really 100% back into that until they release the sniper class, because that's really what I played in the first one, and I want that back so badly.
Oh yeah, I understand. If they didn't have the support class like right out the gate, I probably wouldn't want to go as ham on it either. So I totally get that.
So yeah, part of me is just kind of like waiting for them to announce that and kind of figure that out, and then yeah, once that's done, I don't care. You can reset all you want. I have sniper class, please give. That's all I want from that game. But yeah, dude, the new stuff looks really exciting. I do anticipate jumping on and giving that a shot for a little bit. But it's one of those things where like late at night, if me, you, and Jose are on.
Yeah, and, if the right people are on at the right time, it's just like, fuck it, let's do this.
Yeah, let's hop on and play this for a couple rounds. I feel like it's kind of like at this point in its development period, like I kind of feel like Dirty Bomb's gonna fill that void for me until this is like fully released. Because like I really enjoyed the couple rounds we played of
which is
Dirty
fucking
Bomb.
still in beta, even though it launched. But
yeah.
Actually, we can just get right into Dirty Bomb. I played the beta a while back. I've been playing it on and off. It's Palmer, you agreed with me. It's one of those games where it's like not something you want to play all the time, but every now and then it hits the spot perfectly for an hour or two.
Yeah. I kind of like when Titanfall first came out. That was kind of the game that was doing that for me, and then I got really, really sick of that really quickly. But like Dirty Bomb, like seems like there's actually a little bit more substance to it in terms of like having different, like I know you have like burn cards and stuff in Titanfall, but this has like different loadouts. It seems like there's like different things that the characters do. It changes them out. You can swap between like any three in a certain, like, what I guess it's a squad kind of that you get to choose from. so you can like change classes on the fly, and it's just, I don't know. That game looks like a hell of a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. It was like back when I first played fucking like TF2 or something for the first time. Like I had that like, or not like Team Fortress Classic, like, you know, when that first came out. I don't know, dude. Like I just kind of got that excitement, that rush, and I feel like I'll probably end up playing it a little more than you. That could end up being like the free to play fucking first person shooter. That just is gonna fit right between fucking Hearthstone and Dota. So now I have three completely like interesting free to play games. That is until, you know, Blizzard comes around and releases their first person.
It's not a bad three with fuck, I almost said Brink. With Dirty Bomb, you got the fast paced nonsense. With Hearthstone, you got the casual, and with Dota, there was just rage. So
Yeah.
it's not a bad three.
Yeah. So like, you know, it's one of those things where I've got, and that's like part of a problem for me. Like I've been so picky about video games lately because it's just like no matter what, I just come back to playing Dota or Hearthstone. Like,
Oh yeah, I was gonna say and Hearthstone.
But I mean, honestly, like I've been playing that on PC less because of the fact that I have the app. Like I'm constantly playing it on my fucking cell phone, which is a bit of a problem. But yeah, I don't know.
It came out for iPhone and you didn't put it down for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
I got a Kindle for it, so I can relate. Well, I got a Kindle to get a Kindle, but that was a main reason, a big reason for me getting a Kindle. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I haven't, like, in the few games I've played in the past couple months, they've all been on my Kindle. I haven't played it on PC in God knows how long.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Dirty Bomb's awesome. Like I really liked. I don't know. I found their E3 trailer to be kind of interesting. Like it was kind of like out of left field because I knew like the game was supposed to have this like kind of boisterous atmosphere to it, well, like character wise. And I didn't realize
post-apocalyptic British people.
Yeah, I didn't realize quite how boisterous that game gets, but it's interesting. I really like it. It's a perfect blend of Battlefield and Team Fortress, and it really scratches the fucking first person shooter itch for me right now. It's great. Really great game.
It's very reminiscent of Brink, and that gap hasn't. Dying Light kind of filled that gap, but honestly, Dying Light system is kind of clunky compared to Brink's, which I found amusing.
Well, I think
but
Dying Light's supposed to be like intentionally clunky, in terms of like the way your character moves. Like it's not nearly as fast as you moved in Brink, but like I think it's supposed to kind of have that like more sluggish feel to it.
yeah, I can see that, especially if you're running for 8 years and you try to climb up a building, and
exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I just the fluidity of Brink was amazing, and it was a shame that game came out in the state it did and got shed on so universally. So I'm very happy to see it's the same development team that did Brink that's working on Dirty Bomb. So I'm really happy that they're kind of starting to get a bit of praise for their goodness.
Yeah. Like I said, if for some reason any of our viewers have been waiting on trying that, like go download it right now. It's a really fast download too, which surprised the hell out of me.
It's only 4 gigs.
Yeah. And honestly, the game's not pretty, but it's not. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the aesthetic to it. It's very simple, clean graphics, which I think is becoming like a bigger trend these days, especially with free-to-play games.
Well, yeah, with free-to-play market, you really don't want to launch something on like a CryEngine 3 engine or something like that, because you're not going to reach that many players.
But it looks good and it feels really fluid. So yeah, check it out if you haven't. It's a great game.
All right, let's move on to some 40K stuff, or Games Workshop stuff rather. The first Total War Warhammer. That's not gonna ever not be annoying to say. In-game stuff kind of released, or they put out a trailer because they're putting out something this coming Friday. They haven't really said what it is. I don't know if it's a trailer, or if it's a cinematic trailer, or if it's just more in-game stuff. But they released some like development video of an in-game model being at work, and it's like a dude riding a tiger because it's fucking Warhammer. And I'm very, very excited for that. I just really hope they don't launch it in the same state that they did Total War Rome 2, which was kind of fucking abysmal.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, I really thought Total War was going to be something completely different than what it was. So
yeah, you hadn't played a Total War game before.
Yeah, and then I was all in on Rome 2 because like I thought the idea behind it was interesting. I didn't really watch any gameplay videos, but it went down to a decent enough price, and I checked it out for a couple hours, and it just ended up being nothing like what I expected it to be. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just didn't appeal to me. I can see the appeal behind it. But But yeah, like we've touched on this game before in some of our other casts, and honestly, because of the fact that it's got like a 40K license to it, and because 40K is a tabletop game,
Warhammer.
and it's classic Warhammer.
Yeah, it's classic.
Oh, okay. Well, still same rules
It's
apply.
the same thing. Yeah.
Because of the fact that it's a Warhammer game, and because of the fact that it's a tabletop game, I feel like I'd be used to the slower pace of the gameplay, so I might actually be like willing to really give it a shot. So that might end up being kind of the bridge that gets me into the Total War games.
Honestly, you would like it was medieval Total War 2. They really put a lot of focus on siege warfare and like sieging these giant castles with multiple walls, and just a huge amount of the game was built around that. And they kind of lost that with later iterations of the series. So honestly, I think you would like that a lot. Next time that's on sale for like $5, I'd recommend you pick that up, just because the siege battles and that can go on forever and they're just stupid fun.
All right, yeah, I'll have to check that out.
And what else? There is a new 40K game focused around the Inquisition that's supposed to be coming out next year.
Right.
Just a little teaser trailer was released. The developers behind it, who the fuck are they? Can't remember their name, but they did the Van Helsing series and Neocore Gamers. Founded in 2005. Yeah, they did the King Arthur series too. They're not a bad development studio necessarily, but I only played the first Van Helsing, but I played it years after release, and there were still some bugs. Wasn't a whole lot of polish to it. Wasn't bad, but wasn't great, and that doesn't instill confidence in a open world RPG game set in the 40K universe, which is what they plan to put out.
So is it going to be like is it going to be like KOTOR or Mass Effect type of open world, or are we talking like...
No idea. They've released nothing. All they said it's going to be an open world RPG focused around the Inquisition, which means just heresy fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Fire.
I think it's so interesting that all these game companies are just, hey, let's focus on Inquisitions and make that the general theme of all RPGs in this generation.
They did it. Warhammer 40K in particular has been doing that a lot lately. A huge amount in the Space Marine story was centered around the Inquisition. A lot of the RPG books they put out in recent years have been centered around the Inquisition. They just fucking can't get enough Inquisition. And honestly, it's one of my least favorite aspects of 40K, but the fact that it's 40K alone gets me all giggity inside, so... But it's more of a, just going to have to wait and see like what happens, because they just released like, a 10-second teaser trailer. It wasn't much to go on.
We'll have to
revisit that like a year down the road.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to watch what that turns into, because if it ends up being something like a Western RPG or like a Western open world game, I don't know. Like I hope it ends up being something cool.
It'll definitely be more along the lines of a Western RPG. I mean, the fucking Van Helsing games were basically Diablo clones, but with Van Helsing, so.
Alright. Yeah, didn't you say those were just, like, mediocre, though? Like, that they weren't...
No, they weren't. They weren't. I only played the first one. They weren't bad. I played through them. They were alright. There was no particular great aspect about them, but there was nothing really bad about it. It had an interesting atmosphere because it was Van Helsing, but there were no vampires in the game, and you're Van Helsing going around, you're fucking Van Helsing. You should be killing vampires. So it was just a lot of, like, a balance act where it came out to an okay game. And I think it took me like 10 or 12 hours to run through, so it wasn't terribly long either. Right. But like, it just drives home my point. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just kind of somewhere in the middle. So, but maybe they will find their stride in the new 40K game.
Okay.
Speaking of space stuff, I want to jump into Fractured Space because I've gotten really into that lately. Fractured Space is it's basically a space MOBA. It's 5-on-5, and you fly around these giant capital ships. There's no creeps, which kind of threw me off at first. Basically, you just run around capturing territories and gaining points like that. But you're flying around these giant capital ships, and they're of different sizes. There's like a sniper. There's a sniper capital ship class. There's like an assassin. Yeah, there's an assassin class where you can like go invis, pop out of nowhere, and just blow the shit out of someone. There's giant capital ships that move at 2 miles an hour, but they have every gun in the world attached to their hull. So it's been in early. Well, no, it's only been in early access it's been in early access for about 6 months. But the game has been in development. I think the alpha came out last year.
Okay.
And like on their website, you can actually see like just the bare bones of this alpha like last July. And then the month later, this has textures, this looks nicer. A month later, there's these new ships. They've been really consistent with adding content. I I don't think there's any way to actually get into it right now, but they've done free-to-play weekends in the past where if you just played it, you're locked on, because it's going to be a free-to-play game. So if you just played it, your account's locked onto it, and I imagine they'll be doing that again somewhat soon, just to keep the player base up and running, because it isn't terribly big right now, but it is steady, so I'm hoping if they're smart, they'll do another free-to-play weekend or send out some keys through Alienware or something and just get more people playing this game. So it's actually really fun.
All right.
Very much fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw like a YouTube video for a couple minutes before we started the cast about this. Looks interesting. I don't know. It might not be. I'm afraid, given the slower pace of it, it might end up being something, you know, kind of along the lines of Heroes of the Storm, where it just isn't able to keep my interest for more than like a couple rounds here and there. Because I'm just like so used to having to micromanage every last fucking action that I'm making. Decision
well, there are like 9 buttons. Any given ship has like 9 different abilities. So as far as buttons go, you're covered. But the way it plays out, it is kind of very slow.
Yeah.
And then everyone kind of knows what's happening. They all head to the same sector, and you know, ships pop out of invis, and just capital ships launch flyers, and shit goes down. It goes crazy for 5 minutes, and then it kind of dies down again.
Yeah, if there's anything that I learned from TI4, that I hate Chinese Dota.
Yeah.
So if that's what it's supposed
to watch,
if that's what it's gonna be like, I'm not.
No, it's more like imagine Dota with everyone constantly going mid every like 2 minutes. That's kind of what the game feels.
Yeah, I mean, if it's got an emphasis on team fighting and stuff, that might be enough to keep
a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Just the way the ships, like, you can't really pick the, you know, you can pick the destroyer ship, the really slow ship, and just run around and scare the shit out of the enemy. But then they'll send a couple assassins or a sniper after you, and they'll pick you off while you try to crawl away at, you know, 2 miles an hour. There are different, like, the way the map is, like, you have your base, the enemy base, and then there's 3 different zones, and to move in between zones, you have to, like, warp to them. So you got to charge your drive for, like, 5-10 seconds, go to the zone, and then kind of explore from there. It's not like, you know, one giant map where you just run towards the enemy. You got to warp, let your shit cool down. So you got to be kind of smart and tactical about it too. It's right now. I mean,
you're making this sound a little more appealing now that we're
it's a fun game, and like just the amount of content they add every month is pretty. It's, I don't want to say ridiculous, but they're a good developer. They're really supporting their product. They listen to the community. They make changes on ships that are too OP or something that needs a nerf or something that needs a buff. So it's just, the developers are really good behind it. Like, I hope that they just hand out keys to people that want to play this game, because I want the community to be last and whatnot. But I have no idea when it's actually releasing. So
yeah, I mean that falls right in line with your obsession with space combat simulators.
Yeah, this is also something that's kind of scratching my space itch until the first-person module for Star Citizen comes out, which is God know when. But
it's never happening.
Probably not. Where should we go now? I guess we can go to Heroes of this. Actually, no, Corbin's doing something. God knows what he's doing. Terraria.
Oh yeah,
here.
That's something we've all actually. Even I dabbled in that.
Even Corbin jumped on that for a little bit.
Yeah, it. Well, do you want my impression of it?
You hate Terraria, so.
And I played it for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not my cup of tea, but they added a lot of cool stuff, and it seems like it's a lot more, like, whole and complete.
I don't even think the game was really lacking anything, but I'm not a huge Terraria fan, but I cannot deny they added a tremendous amount of content with this update.
Dude, it's ludicrous.
It is endless.
You know, like, good on them. Like, good on that dev. And like, you know, I've dabbled, really where I played a lot of Terraria is on Vita. And so, you know,
that's a good game for that platform.
Yeah, it really is. But you know, they haven't gotten that update yet, so it's that update is kind of what got me into playing it on PC. And honestly, I like it more on PC. I mean, like, Vita's great because you can kind of like just pick up and go with it when you want to. But I don't know, there's something nice about like sitting down with a few friends over Skype and playing that game for a couple hours, just like. Because it's one of those games you can just zone out and have something going on in the background and just like make idle small talk here and there. And
casual isn't necessarily a bad thing either. It's just kind of more of a laid back.
It's casual with like peaks of like hardcore here and there.
Oh yeah, if you get like a couple Cthulhu eyes coming at you or some shit, it can get hectic really quick.
Run away, run away. Everybody run away.
But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving all the changes that they've made. It's A lot of the new things that they've added, there's a couple of them that don't make a lot of sense to me yet. Like we couldn't figure out how to use those warp things yet. And I think there was something else that we like couldn't really figure out how to use either.
I noticed that, well, I hadn't played the game in like 4 years,
Mm.
but I noticed right when I booted it up that I found way more chests than you would have 4 years ago. Like they were just, I went into a little cavern and there was just chest lore.
Yeah, there were when Jose and Corbin and I were playing, I think we found 8 total.
I was there for 4.
Well, yeah, but like Kelly and Jose and I had been playing for a while before then. You didn't jump in until like, I don't know, after we'd been playing for about an hour and a half or so.
After the hit.
Yeah. So I mean, Jose and I don't know, dude. That game's just, he really likes that game, and that kind of makes me enjoy it when I play it because he's just so enthusiastic about everything, and Jose is never enthusiastic about anything.
Anything Minecraft related, Jose gets very giddy.
And he just, he's so into fucking Terraria. It's silly, and it's so funny because I'll be like, well, like all of a sudden he'll just come up to me after like it's been dead silent for 10 minutes or so, and he'll just come up to me. And he's like, let's go spelunking, and it'll be the most fun on the face of the earth, dude. We'll just dig down and eventually find a cavern
with no real purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Happens,
and eventually find a cavern, dude, and we'll die a bunch of times, and it'll become nighttime, and we'll have to run for our lives. But we go back in. It's the definition of insanity.
Still have Jose's tag.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Does he? Well, you're the new Jose, apparently.
Whoops.
He's been replaced.
Oh, wait.
That's not a big deal. It don't matter. None of this matters.
Dolores es biblioteca.
No.
I know where the library is.
There we go. Fixed it. Mission accomplished.
Let's
Scared to find out what it is.
I don't even want to know either.
It'll just be my home address.
22 minutes into the cast, I finally fixed that small.
No, that's not bad, honestly.
Yeah, to be honest, we haven't so far. Not thrive on that though. On to the next topic.
Quick note: TF2 is now releasing, instead of weapons, gun skins. They're taking the Counter-Strike.
Oh, yeah. I remember messaging you that like in the middle of the week, and you just being like Counter-Strike, and me just being like, my god.
It's, I mean, it brought back some of the player base. Like people are buying that shit. So, I mean, if you still play Team Fortress 2 and like it, what the fuck? It's just like the Counter-Strike skins. Make your shit look cool. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, good.
So, something to, continue adding change to a game that's been the same for how long?
Long time.
Years?
Well, they did add the Horde mode, which is actually really fun if you get a few people together to play it with the evil.
Well, like, yeah, there's always, well, not so much anymore, but there's new maps coming out and different stuff like that. But like the whole thing about hats in general is that it's something that is changing that you have control over, of that most people, including myself, find fun.
Yeah, hats are fun.
Entertaining.
Until you get into the dark and seedy underbelly of online gambling.
And you find yourself like buying Arcanas left and right, and you just don't know what to do with life anymore.
Betting on them. Or betting them, I mean. Just left and right.
Like we're not doing it.
My compendium is level 205 now.
I got mine into 64, I think.
Somebody found some money.
I think I've gotten...
I've just been getting rid of my Dota items.
Beat. Oh, I don't remember.
No, yours is only like 184 or something.
No, shut the fuck up. It is definitely
Dude, you can't
not.
outpay to win, Corbin.
Here, I'll find out for you.
Get your shit
you
together.
can't outpay to win me. I will
I know it
pay to win
not,
you into the ground.
It is over 200, I know that much. And it's not... I haven't bought anything since 125. No, 130.
How did you get 70 levels? I got 34 from the chests or something.
I got like a bunch of like duplicate immortals that I sacked for 2 levels each, and I play a lot more Dota than you do.
You're level 194.
Damn.
Yeah, suck it.
Damn.
Guess you're gonna have to pay to win harder.
Yeah,
Yep.
Clearly.
And I haven't traded in any immortals.
I've contributed more than my fair fucking share of money. I'm not paying anymore.
It is not time to admit how much money I've spent on Dota since it first came to Steam.
Yeah, that's a figure I don't really.
I'm really
We don't need
low.
to
Most
discuss
of my
it.
shit was on the market. I'm at like $200 just because
Well,
most of my shit was that I bought and sold and all that was on the
How do you
market.
check that?
it's in your Steam wallet thing. Like
What
you
he
can see
said.
how much you spent on every game.
Anyway, other recent game
Payday 2, what
updates.
the shit? Fuck. I spent so much money on that damn game.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even fucking like it.
Oh, you love that game.
Yeah.
Trine 3 got an update, just a couple new levels. Slowly grinding their way to release. I'm okay with it. I haven't actually played any of the new levels. I'm gonna kind of hold back for a while and wait till they release. Wait till I have like a couple hours before I hop back in on that. But I'm happy that that's progressing. Insurgency got a new horde mode, which typically I love. Fucking horde mode's my thing. I all day every day. But in Insurgency, it is stupidly hard, even on the easiest setting. Like you still get one shot killed. There's only 5 people on your team. You got 20 guys swarming you. With their other co-op modes, like the way it works was you kind of clear out sectors of the map one by one. But with this horde mode, you hold in somewhere and just hope to hell like you don't well I can't talk. You hope to hell you don't get blown away, which happens very often. I think I've made it to wave 2 before I was just like I'm done with this. So it's definitely something that requires teamwork and communication and a group of people. But if you get all those things together, I imagine it would be quite fun. But just running it lone wolf on a server with a bunch of randos, it is just damn near impossible.
Jesus Christ, I put a lot of money in.
Oh, the games with gold now does 2 Xbox One games. And the first one they launched was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I was very happy with because I still had not picked that up.
Damn it.
Yeah. I remember I lolled and told you that. It was great. But you both played it, and Corbin fucking loves just sailing the open sea.
How many hours do I have on it?
A lot. Somewhere around 200, I remember.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen anyone
was
spend
very
much time into
calming,
Assassin's
man.
Creed game.
Like that last semester of school, it was rough.
You just wanted to
And
sail on
Like
the open water.
seas.
I might have like 188
You
hours.
sail.
No, I've beaten the game with over 97% 3 times now. It's
Damn.
very calming to just sail the seas and pick up everything.
I was like that with Saints Row 3. Played a shitload of Saints Row 3. Way too much Saints Row 3.
Dude, you can never play too much Saints Row 3.
I had a period. I had a period of time in my life where that was the game that calmed me. Just like surfing on cars, and for some reason I found car surfing as a calming activity.
Oh, my favorite though is on my last playthrough. So like I stream myself playing this a lot, playing Black Flag a lot, and I did one playthrough where the only shanty that I picked up was the running down to Cuba one, and so I would just have him sing over and over again the same thing. And I started
You
singing
have a
along with
tendency
it.
to do that though. You had like the noob song on repeat for what 2 hours?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
Oh god.
But running down to Cuba, man, that's a great shanty. And I had like 11 viewers at one point in time just watching me sail the seas with that shanty on repeat.
I bet
It was
I
hilarious.
bet they fucking loved that.
But then, like, all of a sudden, like, at this point in time, like, I had finished some sort of project or something, so I'm just kind of drunk, and I'm sitting in that chair back there, like, playing it on the TV, and I'm just running down to Cuba with a load full of sugar. Well, that is what the people of Twitch want.
Going to Cuba on a load with a load full of sugar. That's right, then.
Rainbows, Cuba, running down Cuba.
all right. Any other game stuff before we dive into that? Oh, Blood Bowl 2 got a release date coming out later this month, and
Yeah,
it's
what's so shitty about this?
the pre-order incentive is one of the 2 launch DLCs. That's all I need to say. They've already announced all the teams they're doing and the teams they're launching with, implying that they're having like 6 other teams for DLC right around launch, and that is just atrocious. And you have to keep in mind the first Blood Bowl game, there were 4 iterations of it, and like you had to buy each one, and you got like a 50% discount that didn't stack, and it was just
That was so
terrible.
bad.
Yeah, like they're not bad games. I love Blood Bowl. It's funny as shit, but like
But the way it was handled.
yeah, and fucking the idea of buying it for $40 or $50 and then having to drop that much, if not more, on all the
no,
DLC.
and then $25 every other time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very appealing.
So this
I don't
leads
know.
straight into Destiny bullshit. I know this happened a while ago, but apparently you guys haven't talked about it yet.
No, we haven't. This being the Destiny, the new collector's edition, that we have to buy because you guys don't even understand the emoticons that come with it, boys. Worth $60. $60 emoticon, boys. Basically, what the people are getting their panties in a fit about is they're re-releasing Destiny as like an Ultimate Edition that includes the new DLC, the 2 previous release DLCs, and the base game itself. And no incentive, discount, or anything to previous buyers. And the way they handled it in an interview was basically saying,
Luke
look...
Smith.
No. You gotta say the icing on the cake for this. That, like, people who already own the game, like, have to pay this to get access to the new content. Like, that's the only way to get it, right?
No, you can buy it separately. But there's stupid little things, and it was the way they handled the interview. There's just stupid little emoticons you can only get if you buy like the holy shit edition, and they were just pushing it on this interview. Like, look, man, we know you guys already bought all this stuff, but the way the dance moves in this pack that you can only get with this is amazing. Like, it's absolutely. If I show you this, no, the exact quote was, "If I show you these emoticons, you will throw money at the screen."
Oh,
and
yeah.
Ian face palmed and.
I heard that.
Yeah, it just spiraled out of control from there.
It was just a giant fuck you to their like core passionate gaming group.
No. The giant fuck you is the Red Bull shit that they pulled.
Yeah.
The giant
shit, that was like 3 weeks ago.
Which
Here,
they
buy
did,
this $60 game, and you can't get access to it without paying for a fucking Red Bull.
Yeah, it's
They
posting
announced,
a
like,
picture of
within a
yourself
week of
drinking
the
it on
announcement of
Twitch or
this.
some shit.
Yeah.
Like, they just buried themselves, basically.
I can't believe that. That is so ludicrous to me. Like, all right, you were raging about the fact that you could buy fucking easy fatality coins in Mortal Kombat. I was totally okay with that. You were raging about that. I'm raging about this fucking Red Bull bullshit. I'm not even that into Destiny, dude. I put like maybe 14 hours into that game and called
I'm right around there.
I really don't like, but that is such a big fuck you, dude. Like honestly, I can't believe that they would hide DLC that you're already going to pay full price for
supposed to have access to
behind a paywall of something. And it's you know, like the sad part is I've gotten used to devs hiding shit behind paywalls, but to hide it behind the piss can of a fucking Red Bull, dude, like that shit, that like I'm not a huge energy drink fan at all, like of any of them, but Red Bull is one of the last ones on the face of the fucking earth that I would consider drinking. Red Bull tastes like straight goddamn piss, dude, with sugar in it. Like that's what it tastes like. Pissy, just add a little soda and some sugar, and you have a can of fucking Red Bull. And
Tropical Red Bull, man, that stuff's good though.
I
love
never
me some
had
pineapple.
I've never had anything but regular Red Bull, and that shit is god awful. And I can't believe that Activision would have ever thought that was a good idea, dude. Like,
developers have been doing this forever. I remember Bad Company 2. Yeah, I'm getting. I know exactly what you're gonna say. Like Bad Company 2 even did it, where they just gave you stupid skins, but they were just stupid skins. It wasn't like access to actual game content that you should already own.
And
like,
I mean, Call of Duty did it too with Doritos and fucking Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah,
that was for like double EXP fucking codes.
Yeah.
Like that was that, and you know what? That's fine. You want to do that?
Halo
that's
did
great.
it too.
And honestly, I fucking love Doritos and I fucking love Mountain Dew. But you slap a fucking paywall on a goddamn Red Bull, and that is a slap in the face. Like I can't believe that shit.
And Destiny's like not this like beloved game. I mean, people are kind of hot and cold on Destiny, but it's not really this beloved thing in the gaming community.
It really is. It really is with like the people that play it. The people that play it love that fucking game, dude. The people that are still
I do have a
playing
couple old coworkers that still play that game.
Yeah, the people that are playing that game right now are the ones who have put several hundred hours into it and have done everything there is to do in the game. And for Activision to say, hey, thanks for making this game what it is. Thanks for supporting a game that was bare bones at launch. Thank you for playing this fucking title that really was mediocre when it came out and supporting a game because you guys loved it. Let's make you pay as much fucking money as we possibly can for you to continue enjoying this game. Fuck that. Like, fuck that. That's not okay.
Oh, no, yeah. There's nothing okay with that. But, you know, the one thing we can take away from this is what the Dying Light developers did, which was just kind of laugh at the whole thing. And I think it was different. It was tiers of retweets for posting a picture of yourself with a glass of water
Yeah,
with
yeah,
drink
drinking
for with a
water.
yeah,
drink
yeah.
for DLC hashtag.
And that was great. Jesus Christ, I thought that was hilarious. I actually like
It was a good move.
I kept meaning to actually do that because I really liked Dying Light. I still haven't beaten it yet, but I really liked it. And yeah, I don't know. I just forgot. I kept forgetting to fucking tweet at them.
Well, they implemented a new system where
Yeah.
you just like enter these codes and it'll get you, random weapon unlocks and shit like that. Which I mean, this the whole thing from the Dying Light devs was just smart, even if you didn't really like the game. Just the fact that they're bringing attention back to their game, as they're still pumping out
Oh
DLC
yeah, that's
for it. So
genius marketing. Absolute genius marketing. Um, and honestly, like those kinds of like, and like it was a jab. It's a straight jab, obviously, to Activision, but at the same time, it's like a playful one. You know, it's not like something that's like really bitter. It's just funny, and it's just kind of like it's not really something that's like kicking them while they're down, because obviously Activision is catching a lot of heat for this. Um, and for the Dying Light devs to turn around and just kind of like make a joke out of the whole thing and kind of put like a lighthearted spin on the whole thing, like because they're the one positive thing that has come out of this whole situation. Um, like good on them, dude. Like I will support them well into the future if they continue to have that kind of a sense of humor and develop games that are like as good as I thought Dying Light was. I know a lot of people didn't, but I really liked it.
mechanically, it's not a bad game. It had no story to it whatsoever, and kind of took different things from different games and put them together. But it made for a really fun game. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even if you didn't like the game, you gotta kind of like the game.
The other thing that I'll give to Dying Light is I have a really really irrational fear of heights, and that game crippled me at points. Like the first time it did it was like at the beginning of the game where you have to climb up the
The
goddamn
giant tower
the
thing.
giant like
The tower on the building.
oh my god, dude. And that your character starts swaying in the wind and the wind effects are happening and he's just like looking around and shit. I'm just like gripping my controller, literally just like sweat streaming down my face. I'm shaking so bad. Because it felt like I don't know, dude, good on them. They really nailed a sense of atmosphere in that game. And to me it just felt like you were actually climbing and
It was very pretty too, and that really helped it
God,
along
it was
too.
fucking beautiful, dude. That game was great, and from what I understand, it's actually been a lot better optimized.
Yes, it has. I popped on it like a couple months after release, and there was huge performance ups or frame rate ups for me. So I was very happy with that.
Speaking of,
One thing,
oh yeah, go ahead.
one thing that we haven't talked about the whole drink a Red Bull thing is that how does that affect Red Bull and how they're kind of like still getting just their feet wet into esports, because like having something that they obviously threw a bunch of money at because they're not the most experienced company when it comes to esports, is how does that affect them and their willingness to continue trying to foray into esports events and games and whatnot.
Well, I don't know. What are you talking about? Because they've done two events now for Hearthstone that
They've
have
done a
been
couple Dota things too.
fantastic.
Yeah, like the quality of the last Red Bull, I forget what it was called, but it was like a weird format.
Yeah,
Like the quality of their production was so high. Like they spent a lot of money doing this, and people reacted really well. And then they try something like this, and it's just like fucking wrong.
But I'm not mad at Red Bull per se. Like I'm mad at Activision for thinking
Well,
that was a good idea in the first place. And yes, I understand it
Yeah.
takes two to tango and shit, but fucking like I, I don't know. Red Bull genuinely seems like a company that's really just trying to get itself, like you said, it's finding its footing. It's trying to get itself.
I don't think that it's
situated
Red
with
Bull's
video games.
fault.
I don't
It's
think it
just
is
that
either.
like every time that something like this happens with Red Bull, I get so scared because they have the ability to do such incredible things, and I don't want them to like slow down or pull out. Oh God.
I don't think I don't think that they will. If anything, I think they'll just consider this a misstep and go back to what they've been praised for.
what they've been successful with. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like
They're really successful in StarCraft too.
I remember reading about their success with Dota, but I didn't see any of those matches. What I did see were their Hearthstone tournaments. And they got Crip to do the fucking casting for it. Like the production values were super duper high. And it was like one of those things where it was like it was professional, you know. It, there wasn't a whole lot of joking around or anything, because you know Kriparian's gonna Kriparian, but fucking I don't know. I learned a lot from them, and that ultimately, when I watch esports, like I watch it because I enjoy it and I want to learn from what they're doing. Um, and so like I don't know. I think Red Bull really struck a chord with me personally, at least in terms of like what their production quality is capable of being. Uh, so I'm very much looking forward to anything else that they do in the future.
they've got all this experience putting on live events for sporting venues. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
they have more experience than like the entire world of esports, including Korea combined. Like, of course, Korea has all this experience with StarCraft, but like that's still not even on the level of what Red Bull has been doing. Like, just think about Red Bull Rampage itself and how far that has come in the last couple of years.
Well, I mean, you want to talk pretty much anything that they've done in the past few years. They do what is it the fucking hell's it called? They sponsor like a massive event where they get people to like create weird fucking vehicles to see if they can fly.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Flutog?
Yeah, Flutog. Yeah, that's it. So I mean, like, and like I don't know if
That's
you've
just
ever
for
seen.
fun.
I don't know if you've ever seen any of those. Those are fucking great too.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've obviously got a shitload of experience, and like I said, they really just seem to be trying to figure out what they can do. But this is kind of the next logical step for that company. I mean, they've already kind of catered to the extreme sports thing. Now they're trying to get themselves associated with the video games because they have like a younger demographic that they're trying to target. Now, I think it tastes like piss water, but I like what they're doing for gaming. So, good on them for that. Bad on them
I
for
do
making.
like the original Red Bull. I
I
like it with
can't.
alcohol.
Can't. Somebody got me a fucking vodka and Red Bull one night at I think this was years ago.
You got to get a dead
And,
mouse.
and I remember just like looking at them and like taking a sip and
What
then
is
handing
this?
it back to them and being like,
I'm
thanks, but no thanks. I think it was our Ash actually. He just got me a fucking
A
vodka
little bit
Red
of
Bull.
cranberry, maybe, if you're gonna do it old like that. Otherwise, like a really nice rum goes really good with it. Like something that's like, Caribbean cane sugar style.
I feel like spicing into Jaeger bombs a lot. Noticed in recent years.
I
Yeah,
I,
well,
I haven't been,
Jaeger bombs, dude, oh,
1921
Jesus.
in a long time.
Yeah. God
What
damn.
recent
That's
years?
a
I haven't
whole.
been to a
I
bar in
think I
fucking.
honestly I think That's the only way that I can tolerate Red Bull is with Jaeger.
It's
I
just because the
actually.
overwhelming Jaeger fucking kills out
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
else.
Well,
It's been a
it
couple
cuts down.
years since I've had Yeg.
It takes its pissy flavor and cuts down the licorice taste of the Jaeger.
Into a
Two
wonderful
things we
pissy
don't like,
Jaeger
we
thing.
combine them and get something that's at least consumable.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just it looks like straight just diarrhea, but it tastes delicious.
Speaking of diarrhea, did we go into Heroes of the Storm? Or...
No, not yet.
No, we have not yet.
Well, that's diarrhea
I
is
can
a perfect
bitch about
segue for
that.
fucking Heroes of the
Yeah.
Storm.
Yeah. So speaking of diarrhea, yeah. So this whole event quest thing they're doing, where like you can get 100 gold for it. Some people on Reddit did the math, and you're getting a lot less gold. Like when it was in beta, you were getting so much more gold. Like not even including when you were early leveling up the heroes. Like just in general from everything else, from playing games, playing with your friends and whatnot. And like that has been just sliced down. So I looked at this a little bit, and it's like, oh well, I have a little over 12,000 gold because I haven't played in a while, and I got over 10,000 gold twice before already on unlocked heroes with it. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, so now it's you have to play this like 40 hours a week to be able to unlock a hero every once in a while, and I've got like 60 hours in the game, and I've like won a total of what, like 34,000 gold.
Well,
Like,
here's what I find interesting about what they're doing. Here's the storm. I think that their angle for the game is to cater to the people that they have completely gotten hook, line, and sinker. If we sat down and actually played that, if that was our Dota, then 40 hours a week would be no fucking big deal. You know, like
what?
Well, like, think about back when we used to play fucking Dota for like 6 hours a goddamn day, dude.
It was
Like,
more like 10.
yeah, like there were points where
Yeah.
we were getting on Dota at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon and would not go to bed until like 3 at night. Like,
We did that for quite a
we
bit.
did that for a really long time. So I mean, like, you know, if for somebody who plays Hearthstone or not Heroes of the Storm the way that we played Dota, that may not be that big of a deal for them. I'm not saying it's right. In fact, I really think that there's an interesting dichotomy going on between what they're doing with Hearthstone versus what they're doing with Heroes of the Storm. Because Hearthstone, it's getting easier, and Heroes of the Storm, it is getting harder. And I'm trying to figure out like why that would be, and I think it's because they're trying to that hardcore audience that gets into MOBAs, the ones that really play those games. That's not that much time to them, and that's kind of eventually what they're going for. Any free to play model is really only trying to target maybe 10% of its community at the most, and that would be like a blanket target. You're really only looking at like 5% of the community that strongly supports that game, and that's what they make their money off of regularly. Um,
Oh, what is the Dota 2 statistic? I saw this like a month ago. It was like more than 75% of people who play Dota and have more than 24 hours played in the last year have an average of 800 hours played.
yeah,
Average.
yeah. So
People who play Dota play a lot of fucking Dota.
yeah,
How many hours do you guys have on Dota?
2,400.
Getting near 1800, I think. And I stopped for like months on end.
Yeah, I think I'm like right at 23 or 2,400 now. But
You
yeah,
both
like
have a point, though. Like, Palmer, you absolutely have a point where people, if you're into the game, you're going to be playing it more, you're going to be getting more gold, you're being able to grind out, shoot out heroes, or unlock heroes quicker. But Corbin also has a point. Like, even if you played it like we did back in the day, you go at it like 12 hours a day, you're still playing it for a couple weeks before you unlock a 10,000 gold hero.
yeah, but I mean like think about the way fuck League of Legends has it. It's
League of
pretty
Legends
similar.
model is just as terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty
Yeah.
similar, and that really hasn't deterred the player base at all. People love that fucking game. It is still the most popular esport in the world. Uh,
Because they can't handle the doters.
so I mean, it's just
Such swag.
it is what it is. That's unfortunately the way the MOBA scene is, because those games eventually, like even a game like Heroes of the Storm that is as casual as it is, there is still a very hardcore audience that plays that game just on the same on the same levels that we play or try to play Dota at, you know.
Well, you
Like,
could say that about just about Hearthstone, Diablo. You could say
oh
that just
yeah,
about
yeah.
anything.
But like I said, it's an interesting dichotomy because Hearthstone really is getting easier. Like you can get free packs now for watching friends view game, or like you're just watching a player play a game that's on your friends list. You get a free pack if you just watch that. Their quests, I've noticed, I don't know if it's just me and maybe my luck, but I've been getting a lot more of the quests lately that like are 60 gold or 100 gold. Versus the ones that were just 40, which back in the day I remember getting a lot of the ones that were just 40. You know, beat or win 2 games with Shaman or something was 40 gold. Now
Yeah,
I'll get
win
like,
2 games with anyone.
yeah, now I'll get win 5 games with one of 2 classes, or deal 100 damage to a hero, or kill like 50 minions or something like that, and those will be for 60 or 100 gold. So I've been noticing that like it's been interesting because they're giving you harder, or at least they've been giving me harder quests lately that keep me playing the game more often, and give me bigger rewards. And then on top of that, I've really learned how to exploit the arena system, and I've been getting some huge rewards from arena games lately that have been like I'll pay 150 for arena and usually walk away with like 300 gold. So I'm doubling what I put into it. And I usually do that about once a week. I'll get a pack once a week. And then they've added the Tavern Brawl, which gives you another free pack just for winning one Tavern Brawl match. So they're making that game more accessible, I guess. But I feel like they kind of have to.
They absolutely have to.
Whereas Tears of the Storm is just getting more and more hardcore. And I think they're realizing that it's because of the fact that they exploit isn't really the right word to use for this, but they can exploit their audience. And that makes it sound a lot more negative than I think it should.
That's Blizzard. Fuck them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's interesting, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're still like swinging off of their launch. They've still got a pretty big player base that for MOBA games, that's still really new. So it'll be interesting to see if it can maintain that player base, and if it can, I guarantee you it's just going to get more hardcore. If it starts losing players, I think it's going to get much easier to earn gold in that game. But yeah,
Right.
it's shitty that they made it even harder.
They added a new thing where you kill a goblin with this event that's going on. You basically just kill a goblin right at the beginning of the game, you get 100 gold. You can do that once a day. Thing is, you need to do that 100 times in order to unlock a 10,000 gold hero. And one particular thing 100 times.
Once
and
a day.
One thing I found really fucking amusing was the new map. When you destroy it and everything blows up, it does loot drops like it does in Diablo, but there's no actual loot. It's just the irony of that. It's this cool loot drop animation like you get in Diablo when you kill a big mob boss, and then
Sweet,
no
I got
gold
a
or
legendary potion. Let me know. Oh wait.
Oh right, wrong game. Yeah, I found that very amusing. I do like the butcher character though, and he does have the hook. Me and Corbin were debating that for a while.
The Diablo characters that I watched an intro video to like what King Garrick is capable of doing. Like he looks like a pretty interesting character. I'm not gonna lie, that when he comes out, I'll probably get on and give him a shot and see how he is, because I've got like a random 10,000 gold just like sitting waiting in that game.
Yeah, because we played during beta where gold was like free.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I can. I believe I can just log on and
That
probably
is
buy
another
it flat
thing
out.
though that I didn't think about. That was during beta where they had such a small number of people in it, and they wanted them to stay in it, and they wanted them to actually test out all these things.
Yeah.
So we were getting gold thrown at us.
So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I disagree with the fact that they're increasing, well, not increasing, but making it harder to earn gold. But at the same time, I think if you look at their community, you can kind of see why. So we'll see. I think really the interesting thing is going to see how they handle their FPS that they're working on. And the type of model they kind of go for with that. I guarantee you it's going to be a lot like Heroes of the Storm when it first launches, but I get the feeling it'll probably shift. But honestly, the more gameplay that I see of that, the more I'm really excited for that game too. So it is what it is. Blizzard knows how to make good games regardless of what you think of their
They just have shitty microtransaction models.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I do want to bring up. Company
We just got a bot come in and
we did.
spam a message.
We did. Depth did a free-to-play weekend during the Shark Week nonsense. Released a new update where it's kind of like the flood mode on Halo. One guy starts out as a shark, he kills some guy, the next guy spawns as a shark, and everyone just gets eated. But where the fuck was I going with this? Oh, new content, new updates, new maps, and with the free-to-play weekend, it was interesting because the game hit an all-time peak with their player base. It got up to over 10,000, but it had about 100 concurrent players at any given time throughout the day. And now, after the free-to-play weekend, it's around 1,000, even a week later. So
that's pretty good.
I was for months. I was like, man, I wish Depth would do something to bring up the player base, and they finally did. And it seems they got a decent amount of change from it, so they'll be supporting that game for a while. And I'm very happy they did that. Which is why I want the Dirty Bomb people to do the same thing. It's not the exact same situation, but it's still the same end result, I would think. Or not Dirty Bomb, fucking Fractured Space, whatever I'm trying to say. Oh, we should probably bring up Batman and how it's such an amazing game, but on the PC it is so amazingly broken that they had to remove it from the Steam store.
Before we jump into that. I've been playing it on PC, and I've yet to run into a single issue.
Well, good for you.
One of the very few, then.
I don't even have the game. I bet that I wouldn't have any issues either, because I got basically the same computer as Plammer.
I have run into a couple very mild frame rate dips, but other than that, it's been pretty much a flawless experience for me.
You're one out of about 100 people then.
Yeah,
they had to take it off the store page.
Yeah, no. I get that. I know a lot of people have been having problems with it, and I'm not saying that it was a good launch or anything. I'm just saying I'm one of the lucky few, I guess. I don't know. I've been really enjoying the shit out of it.
Yeah, everyone says it's, as far as a Batman game goes, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like, the tank gets a little old. Because you have to do a lot of fucking like tank missions towards like the middle of the game. And there's a lot of like shit that just doesn't make any sense. Uh, in terms of like tank mechanics, like there's a lot of Riddler trophies and shit that can only be found with a tank. And if Batman just made that tank, like, how would the Riddler know to? Anyways,
You don't think about collectibles. Don't think about how
it
collectibles work.
doesn't there's a few of those things that just don't make a lot of sense to me, like, you know, just anyways, the game itself is a lot of fun. I don't think that it's as good as either of the other two, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, 3, but
No,
a lot
no,
of
no,
a lot of.
Rocksteady only did the first 2.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
Even the third one got, sung praises though.
Yeah.
I've only actually played the first one. That's a series I really need to catch up on.
I've only played Origins.
Which was the prequel to the first one,
Yeah,
so
that
makes
was an
sense.
interesting one to have only played.
Yeah.
You should go back and play Arkham City, dude. Like that game is fucking fantastic.
I think that game though is why that's the only Batman game I've played.
Arkham City is a fucking blast, dude. That game's great.
Yeah, a lot of people say that's the best of the series, or was the best of the 3 before the new one came out.
Yeah, but yeah, all I've been hearing is just rampant issues on PC, and apparently there was a leaked email, I think last night, that said that they're not expecting to re-release the PC version until spring in Australia.
Well, some stuff came out around when everything was exploding around the Batman port about the developers knowing that the state it was in, but just kind of pushed it from launch anyway because they wanted it to launch with everything else, or the other platforms rather.
But I mean, what a disaster! And I mean, like, the Mortal Kombat thing, I can almost forgive that. That was a serious misstep, but it was really only an issue that affected like the first like 2 days. For WB to have another game on PC that they paid an entire team to fucking port and say, hey, we're gonna release this, it's gonna be just fine, and then to have this much of a fuck up again, I will never trust another WB game. I guarantee you there will not be another day one purchase for a WB game from me.
That's the Shadows and
You
Mordor
bought
2.
it day one. Oh.
Well, no, I got it because I bought the 980, and so I got
Oh yeah. It came with your 980. I bought mine before you. That's right. Yeah.
And like I said, I haven't had any issues with it, but Jesus Christ, what a fucking flood of fuck-ups that I've heard. Like, it's not just frame rate issues, it's like straight up glitches. And
the game is flat out broken for most. Like,
I've seen a lot of like really funny GIFs appear on Reddit for this game, and it just like, geez Louise, I can't believe that they would ever think that something like that would be reasonable. Like, you've got to know at some point during the development cycle of that game that game was that fucked up. Like, just doesn't make any sense.
Just said, all right, push it through.
Yeah, dude, and it's just like, all right, like, WB, I know you're trying to establish yourself as a major publisher, but this is not the way to go about doing it. Like,
well, they have put out some like really good shit, but yeah,
but their last 2 big releases have been, and even wasn't Dying Light by them too?
This might have been.
I think it was, and that had issues at launch too. So it's been 3.
What 2 releases? The only thing I know of, like, they did Shadow of Mordor.
Mortal Kombat had a huge fuck up.
Mortal Kombat, that's right, yeah.
Shit, really?
That was more on
WB?
Steam. That was more on Steam than the actual developers. That was a whole Steam thing.
Regardless,
wait, what happened with
It's getting
Killer
to the point
Instinct?
where like WB is getting associated with these fuck ups.
Yeah,
And like, regardless of whose fault it was, WB still thought it was a good idea to do that. Like, Steam probably went up and said, hey, we're gonna pay you a shitload of money to try this out, but WB was ultimately the one that made the deal. Like, so it just doesn't make any sense to me. Just 3 major releases of this year have been by them, and every single one of them has launched with problems on PC, while they've been flawless fucking games on console. Actually, no, I think Dying Light had a few problems on PS4
I think Dying
too.
Light also had issues on console. The point still stands, though.
But yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Not at all. And it's what the real big bummer. Actually, no, I guess they're not developing that. Square Enix. Never mind. Go on another rant, but never mind.
Don't need to do that right now.
Yeah.
Anything you boys want to bring up before we bring this to a close?
Yeah, go ahead, Corbin. Take it off. Or
You got all
lead it. Take it off, Corbin.
Yeah. Me and Flammer just bought Far Cry 4. So
oh yeah, so
we
on the
we
wonderful
could play
Prime
that
Day
together.
sale.
You know, yeah, on the
Yeah.
Prime Day sale, $20, man, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad
No,
at
so
all.
we could when we get to the co-op, we could play it, on the stream for everybody.
We could.
Yeah.
I think Tim's waiting on it until it gets a little cheaper though.
I'm not buying Far Cry 3 again. I'll wait till it
No,
gets
Far Cry 4.
Four.
I know. I'm not buying Far Cry 3 again. That's what I'm sticking with.
Oh, okay.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I
see it.
Regardless, I'm really excited for it. I booted it up. I picked up both Borderlands the pre-sequel and Far Cry 4.
But did you get the body lotion deal, Palmer?
No, I did not get that. Did you see the 55-gallon drum of lube?
I didn't see a 55-gallon. I saw a basket, and it was on the game deals Reddit. And I was just like,
oh, that 55-gallon drum of lube always pops up whenever it goes on sale on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like on Prime Day, like it wasn't one of the Prime Day deals, but like it went on sale. But I looked it up and I'm like, oh no, I know I've seen it for cheaper than that. And yeah, the lowest I've ever seen it was like $962. And it's a 55-gallon drum of water-based personal lubricant.
Hey, dude.
it's just obnoxiously large.
Dude, some fucking amateur porn site is like buying those out the wazoo. Brazzers
Barrels
just
full of
invested in barrels full of lube on Prime Day. That's
There's
what
also
they were waiting for.
YouTube videos who, will do something like that and then use it for some funny video or something too.
Who's gonna pay $900?
I'm sure there has to be some sort of like industrial use for it, like where you need, an organic safe lubricant.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They're probably
Has to be another need.
Fucking Prime Day, boys.
There's no way that they can sell that many 55-gallon drums of sex lube.
Obviously they do. It's fucking Amazon, dude. But yeah, I was expecting more game deals out of the Prime Day sale, but yeah, there wasn't.
I thought dumb. Yeah,
actually, no, there was. I almost rebought. There was a second Mortal Kombat Collector's Edition that came with a gold Scorpion statue, and that shit went. It goes,
Gold Immortal.
It goes for $149 regularly, and it went down to $44.99. And I
well,
tried
that's
to.
actually
Yeah, I was gonna buy it just for the fucking statue, dude, and yeah, it was that was my major issue with the Prime Day deals that have been going on this evening. The second they go on sale, dude, they're done. That's it. They're all already claimed.
Because they have like 2 copies up.
And fucking dude, like I put myself on the wait list and everything. I was like crossing my fingers because I ended up getting a blue microphone.
Yeah, we both got blue Yetis.
Yeah.
So I got that 2 minutes and 51 seconds into the deal. The black was already gone. So we both got silvers.
I tried to I tried to get the black one the second it went on and it was gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was gone.
So,
I
I was
went on the waiting list. But yeah, the silver is fine. I don't care about that. It's just a color. But fucking yeah, dude, they didn't have a whole lot of video game stuff, but it is what it is. There was so much other shit on there that I ended up getting.
Oh, I bought a really nice garlic press too.
Oh yeah, I think I know the one you're fucking talking.
Yep. I got
It's
one.
more depressing when it's not a garlic press.
the-
You know what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, I've been staring at fucking Amazon all goddamn day.
Well, I've been looking for a good one because the one I bought from Target was like the cheap one, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far Cry.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Super excited for that.
I also got a Sound Blaster Z sound card that I'm going to put in my media PC, which I'm going to build in a Corsair 750D that I also got. And then I also got 8 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RAM that I'm actually going to put in Jess's computer.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple really good motherboard sales too.
Well, sort of. Like the Maximus 6 that went on sale, like I spent less than that on my Maximus or on my Formula 4 that I have. Like, and that's the equivalent motherboard, and then Skylake is about to come out, and those motherboards are already like old anyways because there's already a 7 series for the Z79. Like it really wasn't a good price. Like
But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of disappointing on the tech side of things. But yeah, we got Far Cry out of it, so not bummed out
Far Cry and a
entirely. But
microphone
I'm not
and a
joining in on
garlic
the Twitter
press.
trend of hating on Amazon right now.
nah. Well,
Oh,
no, because there was so much there were good
it's a lot
deals
of really good stuff. Yeah,
on
you got
other
a golf
things.
club too, right?
Yeah, I got
Yeah, you
a
got a
It's
really good
fucking
deal.
honky.
$600 golf club for
Well, hey,
fucking
you know
like
he's white. Give him a break. You
75
pitcher.
bucks, dude. It's great. Fucking
Fucking honkies.
um. I'm gonna
Go
play so
oppress
much.
someone, Palmer.
We're like getting ready to play golf this weekend too, and it'll be here before we play, and I'm fucking stoked. I'm gonna drive so many goddamn balls with that fucking club. Anyways, back to video games. Uh, I wanted to touch on
There's something.
speculation about Hearthstone actually, because we're gonna get an announcement and by this time next week actually. Uh,
You
about
originally thought. I remember you originally thought this was a card expansion. You
Yeah,
told.
I think a lot of people did. There was a lot of speculation, and I think Crypt might have been right in terms of it being like an Argent expansion, focusing a bit on paladins and that kind of thing, and the whole like Argent, uh, what the fuck is it? Faction that you can like mess around with in World of Warcraft and stuff. So I do still think they're going to be releasing a few new cards, but I don't think it's going to be like a massive card pack.
I think if they did a massive thing like they did last December, that would be bad for them.
I think they're going to release a few new cards. Probably like still a good amount, probably like 50, but I don't think it's going to be like 100 cards like it was with Goblins versus Gnomes or whatever. And I think they're going to announce some major changes to the game. Because they keep saying, "Stay tuned, there are changes coming." And I'm wondering what else they're going to implement. I'm wondering if they're going to actually make it even easier to get gold in this game now, because of the fact that I think they do want to release another massive card set, but they are beginning to acknowledge the fact that they have to do something
Yeah, they catch a lot of shit.
to
There has to be more way to get it without.
Well, I think eventually it's gonna have to get to the point where it's like Magic, where you have tournaments that are Type 1 and Type 2, and Type 2 only has like the last like 3 fucking expansions or whatever. Like it's gonna be impossible. Like think of Hearthstone like years down the road, which they're saying they want to continue
Yeah,
this game
yeah.
for a
Yeah,
long
they've been
time.
adamant about that from the start.
Well, they want it to
Um,
be as long lived as WoW, you know.
Well, I think it's just gonna be one of those things where they're gonna have to start changing things over to being Type 1 and Type 2, and people who are hardcore into the game are gonna continue to purchase the new expansions so they can play in the Type 2 tournaments. But I think they're also gonna try to add some sort of incentive to ranked. Because a card back, really your only incentive is to get to level 20 if you really even fucking care about the card backs that much, which I don't. Which is kind of disappointing considering the
I think it
fact
was
that
because
it's
they
like
put out so like after a year and a half, there's so many different card backs where you kind of gives
yeah,
a fuck on it.
yeah, pretty much. That's where I'm at with it. And honestly, like unless you're aiming to go legendary, which I every once in a while I get a wild hair up my ass and think, okay, I'm gonna go to it. But I the highest I've gotten now is rank 8, and I can't really seem to punch that wall down any farther.
Got to pay to win more, bro.
Well, I don't think it's that. I honestly think I'm starting to run into the fact that I'm playing people at that point that are legitimately better at that game than I am, and know how to anticipate things better, and know how to. There is a level of strategy when you get to that point in ranked, that is involved with everything. So I think I am just running into a wall with people who are more experienced, because at that point I'm running into the top 5% of the player pool, and that is the player pool that's like starting to really take it at a very hardcore level.
And those are the players that have pretty much every card
Yeah,
access
exactly.
to.
Well, and honestly, like there's so many ways to deal with cards, but the meta has changed so completely and drastically within the past couple of weeks that like it's really interesting seeing what is considered powerful these days. But yeah, I think they're gonna figure out some. They're gonna announce something to do with ranked, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was possibly another play mode, just because Blizzard has been bouncing around the idea of incorporating a two-headed giant into the game, and that would be fucking awesome, especially if you can do stuff like that in like a ranked scenario. All of a sudden, that turns it into a 4-on-4 game, or 2-on-2 game, and that adds a whole nother level of like depth and strategy to it.
Oh God, you hounding me to play Hearthstone all the time. That would be awful.
I added you earlier today to get on so I could watch you play a game and get my fucking free.
Oh yeah,
pack.
I was like asleep. I'll do that at some point for you.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of potential. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited for what they're gonna announce. And obviously, you know, at this point tomorrow or next week, we will know, and I will definitely be talking about it. So be prepared for that. Uh,
Have you bragged about what level you reached in
yeah,
whatever competitive?
I just said I've gotten to rank 8.
Oh, sorry. Jess was she needed some scrubs out of the laundry.
Word. And then the other thing I want to touch on, I just feel like we needed to talk about Iwata-san passing away. So
Moment of silence.
yeah,
Or do you want to introduce it
I
before
kind of
we...
want to introduce
We're not
it first.
introducing it. Goddamn
Well,
moment. of
everyone
silence.
knows.
Retards.
Think about it. Here's what I want to ask about this.
You're so distraught.
I am like it, and you know what? It was something that I didn't really realize made
Could
me as
ever
sad.
happen?
Well, no, that it made me as sad as I did until I watched like a highlights video of him that
Yeah,
somebody
man.
had put together. I can't remember. Fuck, put that together. But they put like a highlight reel together of like just him just talking to people, and like I by the time I got to the end of it, I was like genuinely sad, dude.
Well, he was a nice, likable guy.
It's
Like
how
he
much
wasn't.
he
Yeah.
smiles when he talks about what he loves.
So my question to you guys, to kind of wrap this up, is let's talk about some of our best memories with Nintendo. I know Nintendo got me into gaming. I think it probably got you guys into it too. But
Oh, sorry.
the first game that I had ever played in my life was Kirby's Dream Land on Game Boy. And a friend of mine, Kyle, had a Game Boy, and I'd never seen anything like that in my life. And he was playing it at some, I can't even fucking like book fair or some shit late at night at school,
Yep.
after school one day. And he was just playing it, and his mom was there, like getting ready to pick him up, and I was like, "Hey, can I see that for a second?" He was like, "Yeah," and he handed it over to me, and I just like picked that game up and like didn't look back, dude. Like didn't look back. I convinced my mom to get me a Game Boy for Christmas that year, and then that was it. That set off my playing Tetris for the first fucking time. But yeah, dude, like I feel like Nintendo is such an important company to our growth as gamers. What about you guys? What are your favorite Nintendo memories? What got you
I think
into it?
the first game I ever played was also for Game Boy. It was the yellow cartridge, Donkey Kong, where you were either Diddy Kong or I forget the girl's name. What's her name?
Oh yeah, with the blonde ponytail.
Yeah, with the
I
ponytail.
can't
Helicopter
remember.
tail.
Yeah, I can't remember
Yeah,
her name off the top of my
but
head.
like that, I think that was the first game that I ever played. The first I ended up because I got into video games later. My older cousin gave me his original Nintendo, and on it, one of the first games I got super into was the first Zelda, and that I just loved the challenge of it as a very young child. Uh, what leaves me with the strongest memories are original like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. Those are still my two like most loved games. Like I
Is
have both of them like repurchased on Wii. Like
yeah.
I actually paid for them because I thought it was worth it, and oh, like even recently beat them again because I've had a couple surgeries, and in my recuperation I've played all the way through both of them more than once.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a well-known fact, I think, amongst you guys that I consider Mario 64's soundtrack to be one of the best in gaming
Of all
history.
time,
It's
yeah.
pretty fantastic.
And yeah, dude, I'm with you on that game, Corbin. Like I go back and play Mario 64 at least once a year. And it may not I don't like run. I'm not gonna claim that I run through it the entire way, but I'll get
You get a taste of it.
yeah, I'll get
Oh,
like
it takes
20 or
60
Same thing
30
with the
stars.
Fallout
Yeah,
games.
I'll get like 20 or 30 stars, and then kind of burn out on it. But it's a game that I crave and, and run back into every once in a while. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there. What about you, Tim?
I actually started out on arcade cabinets.
Oh, okay.
Some of my earliest memories, back when you could smoke inside of everywhere. My parents would stand me on top of an ashtray in 7-Eleven, and then like crowds would gather around me. That was a Dota shitlord even back then. But as far as Nintendo goes, I think the first Nintendo games I played were Super Mario World 3, and there was an Aliens game that was like a top-down shooter. I can't remember the fucking name of it, but it was god fucking awful. But it was just the fact that it was this console and you had it in your house. You have to pump quarters in this machine. It was just fucking wonderful. But I think yeah, that Aliens game, and I think it was Super Mario World 3 on the original
Oh
Nintendo.
hell yeah!
Those were the two. And then, of course, I went on to Mario 64 and Super Smash Bros. And all that good Nintendo jive. I pretty much haven't really touched a Nintendo game past, like, 2000.
Yeah.
But the 90s, they were absolutely the shit. Like, you could not compare to anything. Like, there was StarCraft, there was Warcraft.
1998 was the year of video games.
Yeah, like, you couldn't compare that back then. They were just such a... I mean, they're still, obviously, a huge force. They have their own system. They have, their iconic games and characters and whatnot, but back in the 90s they were just fucking, it was like the Nazi regime, but in a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess Super Nintendo was kind of the next step for me, and then I went over to Genesis. Kind of bounced between. I don't know. Nintendo was my home for a really long time.
I think everyone
everyone had a Super Nintendo. Like, my first experience with, like, what ended up becoming, like, a Let's Play is that my best friend had a Super Nintendo, and he had maxed out Chrono Trigger to 99 hours, and he's like, dude, how do you not have a Super Nintendo? You have to play this game. And so he sat me down, and, like, for part of a summer, like, basically just watched me beat the game, and, like, would, tell me when I was being completely retarded, and would give me pointers when I needed them, but most of the time, like, it would be just me and him, or, like, maybe somebody else, and just, like, watching me play and try to beat this game for the first time.
Mm.
Like, that was such a great game, too.
Yeah, dude, I have fond memories. I was, like, there was a period in middle school where I had, like, a severe... Like, I had really bad stomach problems and had, like, several ulcers and, like, some other stuff. So I was out of school for, like, a good 5 months of that year.
Get off the drugs, Smalls.
Yeah.
And I still remember to this day, like, my mom, like, late at night when I wasn't feeling well, like, we'd play GoldenEye or some shit, and she would be terrible at it, dude. She would be awful at GoldenEye. But she tried it, and she played it with me a few times, and we had fun with it. And I guess those are the memories that I kind of, like, cherish the most, is just, like, that sense of, I don't know, fun and innocence, I guess, that comes with, like, the Nintendo brand. So, I mean, on that note, I think it's a massive loss. It's a massive blow to the industry as a whole, to lose him, especially so abruptly. I honestly had no idea he was even sick. Yeah, I can't say anything else except rest in peace, and my best to everybody at Nintendo.
Our thoughts go out to his family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ripping the pepperoni.
Exactly. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to bring up. Was there anything else you guys had?
No, I think that's a good way to.
I think we covered just about every goddamn thing we could in this cast. We
pretty much.
I think this is the first cast in like 10 episodes or so where we actually got everything, like all the links we actually discussed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on that note, what episode is this even?
24.
24. Jesus Christ, we're getting up there, boys.
And we haven't been doing it for
a quarter of the way to the century mark.
Yep. We did it, Reddit.
Yeah, exactly.
Far Cry 4 playthrough's coming soon. Let's play Far Cry 4.
Man, I can't believe we've been doing this for 24. Jeez, Louis.
We've been doing this since actually we started we did the podcast last December, and then we stopped, and then we started back up again around the end of February. So we've been doing this for almost 6 months.
Yeah, jeez, Louise, that blows me away. But yeah, this has been episode 24. Thanks for tuning in. As usual, it's Tim and Corbin joining us. You can follow Tim at the twitch.tv/Logan703. But I don't know, do you stream that much? No,
but I'm going to again with Hand of Fate and like all these cool card games that implement different other aspects of things. I'll talk about next week, I guess. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be streaming again.
And you can follow him on Twitch at Logan703. You can Follow me at twitch.tv/Sturmsworth and at Sturmsworth on Twitter. And then you have Kerbin, who was
Magic Brew.
Magic Brew
on Twitch.
Yes.
And other than that,
Also Magic Brew on Twitter.
oh, you're okay. Magic Brew on Twitter. I'll actually get that fixed for next time then.
And we should point out Jose is alive. He's just on a leave of absence for a while.
Yeah, Jose's busy with stuff, I guess. I don't know. Anyways.
Not going to TI.
What a jerk.
Fucking faggot.
What a jerk that guy is.
Right?
Anyways, take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.